Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Adam Andrews. I am the host of the NFT Bros Podcast. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in and checking out today's episode. It's going to be an absolute banger. If you are coming back, again, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hitting that like button and dropping reviews. It really helps us in the algorithm boost up and achieve our goals of becoming the #1 NFT podcast in 2023 and beyond. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce today's guest, Hellequin from LlamaLabs. Helle, why don't you go ahead and take the stage and tell us a little bit about yourself and LlamaLabs, and then we'll just kind of dive in and go from there.
All right, yeah. So I'm Helle or Hellequin. It's my username that I go by online. My actual name is Veselin. I'm the co-founder and COO of LlamaLabs. Which, if some people are not familiar of the name, they might be more familiar with Llamaverse, which is kind of our I would say flagship project. That's how I describe it. We've been around for around 15 months, which is just about a millennia um, in this space, which is good. Yeah, it's good. We've been around for a while. We started off as a free community in a free Discord, then developed into a token gated community, which we then evolved into a PFP collection with a bunch of utility attached to it. But we didn't stop there, so we kind of created the entity LlamaLabs, which oversees everything that we develop. So at the moment, we have a few. One I would say quality of life tool called Whitelist Ping being developed. Then we have a trading tool called Go-To Tools. We have an educational platform in development, alongside a few things that we haven't made public. So yeah, we have a lot going on. We have a lot of teams. We also have Operation Sin, which we're developing, New Cyber, which we have launched and are developing alongside the Pixels Online team. So yeah, we like to stay busy. We like to stay active and agile. We have around 72 employees in the company now. Half of them are full-time paid or part-time paid, sorry, and the rest are volunteers, doing a huge variety of things. Some of them work for us from time to time for edits or video edit, etc. And then some of them are just mods that are volunteers. But again, everything that we do is everything. All of our team members have been trained from the bottom up. So people come in as moderators, and if they prove themselves, they obviously move into a paid position. So yeah, I guess that's like a quick 2-3 minute intro about who I am and what we do.
Awesome. Well, why don't you tell us, I guess, what's next for LlamaLabs and or Llamaverse? Like, what's in the works right now, and what do you guys foresee happening with the future of Llamaverse and or LlamaLabs, the entity as a whole?
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Can you throw things up on the screen?
Yeah, I can put things up on the screen, whatever you want.
Oh, nice. I'll just shoot over a tweet from Llama, my co-founder. I mean, the guy will probably know over me. Actually, while I look for, I'll tell you a funny story or stories. Every time I meet someone, like in real life events, because they go to a bunch of those around the world.
Yep.
People, I always say, yeah, I'm the co-founder of LlamaLabs or Llamaverse, and their face lights up for like a second, and they go like, "Yep, I'm the other guy, not Llama. Don't worry." And they're like, "Fuck." So it's like a recurring thing where I just have to keep going. Yep, I'm the other guy. Don't mind me. Yeah, sorry, I went the wrong Twitter. But yeah, Llama actually did a pretty good tweet, just announcing all the things we're gonna put out, because it's quite a lot. So yeah, you can kind of see the short version. I will send it to you on Discord.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
that's all right.
I'll throw that up on the screen.
Yeah, but essentially, we have identified kind of potential issues and strengths of Web3, obviously, and we're pretty deep into Web3, as you can imagine. But yeah, let me know when it's up so I can kind of go through it.
Yeah, I got it up right now.
The audience can see it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, in the next 60 days, we're bringing out a bunch of things. Llama Dash, which is essentially a dashboard for all of our community, because right now we have so many things going on, so many websites, so many tools, so many basically candies to look at, that a bunch of our community just isn't aware. Like we're literally suffering from success, I call it, where it's just like we have so many things that's of varying kind of importance slash utility, to the point where we developed our very own like welcome bot that literally walks every new holder through everything that we have. And then now we're building a dashboard which will bring everything together, so we don't have to like skip through like websites, etc. It's literally just there. And if you actually click on the first image, you'll be able to see the website. uh, the dashboard. It kind of shows all your stats, yeah, all about how much tokens generate. And on the left, you can see a bunch of things. So you can see the marketplace, you can see the LlamaGov, and I'll go into LlamaGov and etc. later. And then we have a bunch of analysis and calls, which we have on the server, which we're going to bridge over. We have NFT Learn, which is an educational platform we'll go into later, and then tutorials. And then below we have tools and then tool guides. So I think we still have the all of that obviously on Discord. But now, I mean, soon when we release the dashboard, it will all be hosted on there. So you no longer have to like jump through things. And then we're literally going to delete probably 70% of our Discord, because it will become irrelevant when you can be on the website. So the goal is to have all of our communities go on like llama-io or llamaverse.io, whatever the website is, and just have it all there. So yeah, it's we're moving into like a lot of consolidation of like utilities, because it's getting to the point where it's too much. So yeah, then we're doing a few small things like Llama Trade, which is the next image, or sorry, the fourth image, which is essentially just a very simple tool that records your trades and puts it out on Twitter. Then we have Llama Rewards, which is an off-chain currency in our Discord, and then we have an own application, and I think we're one of the first communities to ever do that. It just you can go on iOS store or sorry, the App Store or the Google Store, and just type in LlamaLabs, and the app comes up. And essentially, you can just connect to your wallet, and then have a bunch of announcements and news and like other utilities on there. So yeah, we have those things coming out, new versions of that. We have a new marketplace coming out. We have Whitelist Ping, our quality of life tool, coming out. Um, we have a new platform that we just announced called CollabList, which is going to eliminate 80% of the workload for collab managers and projects, saving them an approximate 10, 20, $30,000 depending on how big the teams are, because it just eliminates a lot of manpower that is needed and just makes everything smoother. Um, yeah, you can see we have new staking systems, which are pretty, they're nothing too fancy. It's just we're gonna have a leveling system inside our community, because we like to reward people the more they engage. And then a big thing that we actually have coming up, which I want to talk about quickly, is Spit Body. So Spit Bodies is something that we kind of came up with months ago before we even launched, which is I don't know if you remember. There was like a month or two. I forget when it was, because everything just merged in my head. But when a bunch of these pixel animals came out as collections, and they all had the copy paste utility of, hey, have two of them, get 3 weeks worth of generation, and then make a small one, like a
Yep.
baby one.
Yep. I
And then
remember.
what does the big one do? It just makes slightly less tokens. So yeah, we were like, okay, this is just whack. Like, just forget this, dude. Like, what the hell? So we said, okay, why don't we do this breeding mechanism? But why don't we go to someone else, like a different community, and say, hey, let's make a very small collection of like 100, 200, 300 pieces. That is our utility and your utility, our token and your token at the same time. So we went and did it. You Most of the listeners, and I assume you are familiar with Gajura.
Yep.
So we actually have a split body almost finalized with Gojira, which will essentially be a best of both worlds, where it generates Spit, generates Jira, has access to the community, our community, all communities. And I can actually drop you a preview on Can I? I can't. On Discord right now. So this is they're all animated, um, and it's a mix of their Genesis art and our traits. So I think they look pretty cool. I am very. Oh, I sent you a very bad one. 1 second. I have like 20 of them on my thing on my PC, and I sent you the only one that has broken animations on it. And I saw it as it was loading. So there's this one. There's this one. So there's like a few different colors, a few different traits. I want to show you a very nice laser one. This one, I believe.
Can I put these up on the screen while you're talking about them?
Oh yeah. Of course,
Okay,
of course. They're public. Yeah, they're public. These ones. So yeah, we're doing a bunch of things. But to kind of answer your question without getting too sidetracked with a bunch of these things, is what are we doing? What are we going to do in the future? So I think we've kind of been around the Web3 block, so to say. So we're looking into and kind of gaining more interest into doing some bridging or kind of enabling our community to be strong in Web2. And what I mean by that, so we're looking to develop a few mastermind groups with different topics. So, for example, the first one we're planning on doing real estate. So we're going to leverage our existing resources, existing community, and all of those things to essentially just bring in experts from the fields. Because we already have a bunch of them. Like we already have a real estate channel where we have someone literally sharing deals around America on a daily basis. So we said, okay, why don't we empower our community further by allowing these people to like grow their own brand and then provide opportunities for our community. And I'll literally show you what I mean. This is screenshot from literally like a couple of days ago. Of someone doing like an actual deal, like a potential deal that someone could take over if they want to. So we're gonna do these like a bunch of these groups in Web2, more folks in Web2, while we develop Web3 slightly less. And why do we do this? We feel like for the short term, Web3 is gonna suffer
Yeah.
significantly more than other industries, and we obviously want to broaden our horizons ahead of time. So when that kind of big pain and suffering comes out, we're better suited to tackle it. As well as obviously, we feel like after a year, our community, although it gets some new people, it's pretty knowledgeable in how Web3 works to a certain degree. So why not bridge them over to Web2, and show them how to do real estate flipping, or how to do how to network better, or how to I don't know, invest in stocks better, or do this and that, or how to do private equity, because many people have no idea, how to save on a tax bill, and we can with our resources and kind of reach and marketing potential, we can reach out to people and say, hey, let's have you come over and like do like a workshop or like a seminar. And because our reach in Web3 is pretty big, we can leverage that quite easily and say to those people, like, hey, you've never had any reach into Web3, and why don't you do it through us? So, yeah, we're going to do that, quite a lot of it. And there's going to be like an underlying factor in all of these things that I didn't mention earlier, but we're setting up affiliate programs for all of our stuff. So our holders will be able to use affiliate codes and market themselves and us through kind of our backing, and that it will essentially be, if like for example right now, the screenshot I sent you of that individual, like if he was to provide his affiliate code to people around him, he can leverage his existing network. Or if we come across a YouTuber and say, hey, uh would love to have your content on, you can share our affiliate link and make so and so money, and give them like a very good one, very high percent. We can it's just more methods for our community to leverage their networks and obviously leverage ours to generate income for themselves. That is not a scam or like something bullshit, that's backed up by like an actual product. And I don't know if listeners are aware, but that's kind of how majority of YouTubers, apart from brand deals, make money. So especially all of these tech YouTubers, if you look below, or streamers even, if you look below their stream or YouTube video, they usually have a bunch of affiliate links to Amazon. So yeah, again, pretty much to summarize, we're going to be moving into Web3 heavily, Web2, sorry, heavily, because why wouldn't we? We could become one of the first big, Web 2.5 communities, or like a hybrid essentially, and spawn off a new community from there. So yeah, that's kind of our view, or like a kind of long form of it.
That's awesome, dude. Like you guys are moving. You got a lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on. I'm excited to see what comes of everything over the next 60 days. When was this posted? Okay, December 6th. Nice.
Yeah,
Um,
couple of days. Yeah,
Dude, it's funny that that you guys are now trying to like shift a little bit and focus on bringing some more Web 2 utility to the project. I was just
yeah,
recently brainstorming with some of my co-founders for Just Cubes, and that was a big topic. Was like I'm very passionate about e-commerce and online selling and
yeah, yeah,
advertising and marketing and things like that, and you know I'm pretty knowledgeable in that. I'd like to think so. I've spent multi-millions of dollars on advertising and generated north of 9 figures in revenue, and so you know we were talking about doing something similar. So to see you guys are shifting that focus from Web 3 a little bit to Web 2, and to kind of bring it to that Web 2.5, is really inspiring, and I like to see that. I think my team kind of thinks a little bit similarly to your guys' team as well, and we really kind of resonate with what you guys are doing. I'd be interested to talk a little bit more about CollabList and like what you guys are doing with that, if you can speak on that at
yeah.
all.
Um, so actually, it's very funny because this is meant to be like super super low key. Like we literally have had told 5 people on our team that were doing this, and obviously the developers doing it. And then, dude, out of the blue, someone just released something extremely similar to it, like on Twitter, saying, "Oh, we're doing this and that." I've forgotten the name right now,
Yeah,
but shout out to them. So we reached out to them. We're like, guys, like this is fucking weird. Like we started doing this at the same time. We know it wasn't a leak. We know they're genuine people in the community because people know them,
yeah,
and it's just like this was such a weird coincidence. So we decided to like publicize our version as well. We obviously we reached out to them and said, hey, we don't want no bad blood. We don't want no like weird feeling. We showed them all of our documents, all of our conversations. Everything dates back, literally months. So they were like, "Oh, this is such a weird coincidence, but we're happy we're doing it, I guess."
yeah,
So with that is essentially imagine a platform where, let's take Q for example, Just Cubes, and let's say I'm not sure what project is coming up. Let's say Project X is minting in like 3 months, right? So you, as Adam from Just Cubes, can go, hey, I want to log in to CollabList. I can connect the Just Cubes account, my personal account, Discord, etc., etc. Verify who you are. You can then write out like a bio, information about your community, size, etc., statistics, all of that good stuff. On the opposite side, the Project X can do the exact same thing and then set criteria. So, for example, if your community has 50,000 followers above, they could say, oh, yeah, we want to take them, or we don't want to take them, or we want to release 1% of our whitelist allocation. That can be 10, 15, 20%, as much as you, sorry, spots, as much as they want to be. So you can then go, and if you meet all the criteria, you can quite easily just click like send a request, and they can just send an approved request. If they're not happy with you, or you're not happy with how much they want to give you, you can then open up a conversation, have a conversation. But that eliminates a lot of back and forth from both sides. So yeah, that's kind of like the overview. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of small things that I can't really like discuss at the moment because they're subject to change or subject to improve. But you know the the big as the crow flies overview is essentially that is cutting out a bunch of unnecessary DMing, a bunch of unnecessary having to know people,
right.
and gives like a level playing field. And the Project X, for example, they can simply spend 2 to 3 hours a day looking for all these people, because everything's going to be there on your profile. Like, they will just click, go to your community, do this and that. They won't have to like be weird about it or like do anything like that. And if you're a smaller project and your collab managers are not as well connected, because at the end of the day, collab managers, their value is how well connected are they. You know?
Right.
If you can't secure these people, you no longer have to, because you have a fair shot as everyone else
Yep.
if you meet the criteria. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And we've calculated that this could save upwards to $20,000 for new projects, and for bigger projects, it can save double, triple that. With them not having to pay a bunch of these people. So we'll see as like a net positive for projects that they'll be able to take. So yeah, that's kind of the idea, and yeah, we're going for it. We're pretty. I would say we're halfway through developing it and should be able to release it quite soon.
Nice. Awesome, man.
Or like a V1 of it. Sorry, like a V1.
Right.
It
Right.
always
Yeah.
needs to
Some
be,
some beta testers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Dude, that's sick.
Beta test. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So that's all going to be launched under the LlamaLabs stuff.
Yeah.
So, and Operation Sin is under the LlamaLabs entity. The LlamaLabs is just the parent company for everything, right?
In a sense, yeah.
So, Operation Sin, dude. Like, I've been following you guys since like sub 1,000 followers. Honestly, haven't really paid much attention.
Yeah.
What do you guys got going on? Like, tell me a little bit. I'll bring it up on the screen here for the viewers.
It's the classic LlamaLabs move. Is we go to do something, and then we set out like expectations for it, and then internally we're like, okay, we could do this better, this better, this better, this better. So we keep improving it. So yeah, we started it quite a while back. We've been building on the back end a lot. We've said and keep saying majority of the utility will be built pre-release, pre-mint. We will be building. They already are building it. Augmented Labs, the creators behind the people behind Kaiju Kings, are developing the utility, and there's actually a whole range of it. And I can kind of read out some aspects to it to you.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitter right now. I see that apply to earn, class assignment, Operation Sin, dev plan.
Yeah.
Go ahead and dive in.
Yeah. So are you familiar with like actually no, let me go through it on top. So yeah, we have a Git book that kind of gives a good overview. So we have a bunch of things. So is this meant to be like a community progression, kind of like almost like a game of sorts, where you start off with like obviously your NFT, and then with time you improve it through different ways. So the most basic one is obviously we have a leveling system, and let me actually show you this. I'll screenshot it for you, so you can bring it up on board. It's kind of like an overview of all utilities. Yeah, it's in DMs. So yeah, there's many utilities and functionalities that are gonna kind of make the whole experience. So there's like 5 listed on there, and I'll kind of read them out for the listeners. So there's a sin level, and that goes out through earning XP, doing activities in a project. This can be daily activities, weekly activities, stuff like that. And then we have sin badges. So sin badges is almost like an achievement system. They are unique to you, so they're going to be a soulbound NFT on Polygon, and they will be immutable. Meaning, let's say you're the first to complete a task ever, you will be rewarded for that, and you can show it off. So, Sin World is actually a game we're building out, and the best way to imagine the genre of game is, I'm not sure if you've played roguelikes.
I have not.
Okay, so a roguelike is, I'll kind of give you like a quick roguelikes are games, they're like a role-playing game pretty much, and it's usually a dungeon crawler, meaning you just go through dungeons, and they tend to be like randomly generated each time, so it's like a new experience, and that's kind of the how Sin Worlds are going to be. It will be like a randomly generated potentially experience that you can kind of go into every day, and you obviously earn XP rewards and other stuff as you progress. And then the kind of a unique feature of these roguelike games is called like meta updates or upgrades, which essentially upgrades that you do after you make a run of the game. So let's say you do like a run, like Binding of Isaac is like one of the biggest games. That's a roguelike dungeon crawler. You can make upgrades that are permanent to your character essentially. So if you have a hard time beating a level or like a stage, you can spend a week improving something on the like on your universal stats and then go back and complete it.
Okay, interesting.
So that's what the hideout is. So you basically have like a base that you can go back to and then improve this and that, and you have different like aspects to it. So yeah, again, this will be so bound to you. So and it will be actually a banner, so you can show off your hideout and how much your progression is on your Twitter or your Discord, etc. And then we also have like a Sin shop and gold, Sin gold and Sin shop, and they're going to be earned through staking, obviously perks around the project, in-game events and activities, and then you're able to spend those almost like on like a whitelist marketplace or a reward marketplace, but that's kind of like additional utility. So yeah, again, like things like games take a while to develop. Obviously a roguelike isn't as hard to develop as like a AAA game that most of these projects think they're gonna do. But we still expect a bit of time.
Of course,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, even the game that we developed when we first launched was
yeah,
ridiculously simple, but there were just bugs and developer
yep.
issues and communication issues because Web3 is so worldwide, and our developers are in different time zones. So I
Yeah.
totally understand with that. So you guys what are you looking to have on mint day ready to go? And then what is, I don't know, the 90-day
Yeah,
plan post mint?
that's a great question. Yeah. So stuff like the Sin Shop and Sin Gold will be from the beginning. And then stuff like the Sin World will be like the longest. I think that'll take the longest time
Cool.
because it'll be like a full game.
Yep.
But it'll be like there will be activities and stuff that bridge over that gap, so to say. Um, and then obviously there's gonna be a bunch of I mean another aspect of Operation Sin is obviously the IP brand and PFP ability of the project. So alongside already this gaming kind of stuff, we're also going to be developing some manga, some comics with some of the characters, etc., like that. Just fun community stuff. And these things can come from literally events. So, like, let's say you have your Sin character and you attend an event, you'll be featured in the next comic or something like that. So yeah, we're taking a few different angles at it. We're recently reconsidering doing a slight changes to the plan because of obviously how the market's been, etc., etc. But yeah, that's kind of Operation Sin. It's mostly been kind of under wraps, so to say.
Yeah, I haven't
But
heard much about it.
yeah, because we had a bit of a slowdown on it because we wanted to like really kind of conceptualize in the back end,
Right.
and then obviously we wanted to look for the right developers, which we obviously found in Augmented Labs, but obviously that took some time back and forth. You know how it is
Yep. Oh
with
yeah.
developers.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, it should be very soon that people start to get a bunch more information. We just actually just released the application forms, and we're actually doing something interesting there where usually when you apply for something, if you don't win, so if you don't get the application approved, you basically just don't get anything. But we're actually doing something interesting on the back end with everyone that applies by giving them some additional benefits and stuff that you'll be able to see later on.
I saw that on the website on the homepage. Very
Yeah,
interesting. So going on Polygon, very cool.
yeah. The reason for Polygon is because we're allowing people to use our split token from Llamaverse to boost their applications.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason why we're on Polygon. Yeah,
Very interesting.
it's like a cheeky booster. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, um, well, actually, I won't bring this up on the podcast, but I will bring it up after the podcast when we quit recording. I have something to bring to you and to the Llamaverse holders and something pretty custom and cool, I think.
Ooh.
But dude, yeah. So I guess there was a question that I had. It was in my podcast topic ideas. Let me look for it for a second because I
Yeah,
think you'll really like it. You're the COO, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Let me find which one it was. Um,
I'm the pessimistic guy. It should be in my title actually, because every time someone brings any idea, it's my job to shit on it. And if you can't defend it well enough, then it probably isn't a good idea. But if you can defend it, I'm like, cool,
I,
great.
I wanna
Let's
I
go.
wanna hear your feedback and I wanna hear the criticism for the idea that I wanted to bring up with you, but that's for off
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
off podcast chat for
Hey,
now.
look, if you want to do it on the podcast, you can do it on the podcast. Up to you.
We'll keep it off for the podcast for
Okay,
now
okay.
because
Yeah,
there's some alpha that hasn't been released
yeah.
yet.
Oh, I see. It's one of those
I
things.
want to
Okay,
do
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
want to do it with you guys and the other person who I haven't released yet. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So aside from what you guys are building, if somebody listening to this podcast is ambitious, let's say they can code, they understand business, and they want to get into Web3 in some way, shape, or form. What do you see as the biggest opportunity here in Web3 that hasn't been fulfilled quite yet or well enough?
Okay. Um, so I think there's like two parts to that question. I'll kind of split it up. For like an individual, like an individual basis of like, let's say someone that's like, I don't know, 19, doing university and they have spare time, right? What can they do to make themselves like desirable in this industry? I think there's many ways. Developers are never short. Like, sorry, they're always
They're
short. We're always short
always.
on developers. There's never enough developers. So if you have a knack for developing, like the development, like so, if you're like I don't know, if you're doing computer science or any sort of something similar to the field as your degree, I would say it would be a good idea to kind of go into that. If you're not very technical, um, I would say things like community management are always worthwhile. I think there's still I think content creation is still underdeveloped in the space as well. So if you're actually creative, you can build an audience pretty easily because right now, again, not much competition in terms of numbers. Obviously, the content that's being produced right now is great, but there's people like K Money. Like if most people would know K Money, his content is great. If you kind of look at him and then some other content creators, you can do really well. I know that for a fact that there's a new war on the horizon in the tech world, which is the shorts. So right now TikTok is obviously dominating, but YouTube are stepping up their game by monetizing shorts and pushing them way more in the algorithm. So we have a marketing section and someone responsible for teaching our community marketing, and I believe. Let me find this. I think they got like something like 40, 50, 60,000 views on one short about NFTs. Uh, Whereas usually their channel gets, significantly less engagement. So yeah, there's a whole new kind of sphere of things you can do in content creation. Um, I also think that projects, as in general, lack content creation. We have a YouTube channel that we post almost daily on. I think we do 5, 6 uploads a week. Um, but yeah, I don't think anyone else really does anything near that. So I think there's a spot there. So yeah, I mean, community management is another thing. Obviously, there's always going to be the need for moderation, partnerships, etc. But you just have to find kind of what you're comfortable with and what you can do. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean you have to do it ASAP. You can just take your time with it, especially if you're younger. And and I honestly, I actually had two younger people that I know in my life, in my personal life, that reached out to me recently, and one of them said, I think she is 16 or 17. She is my family friend's daughter essentially, and she said, "Hey, I know you've been in doing investment and now you're doing NFTs for like years. can you give me some advice on what stocks to invest? I think I want to invest in a bit like big oil or something like that. I was like, slow the fuck down, Jesus Christ. You're like 17. I literally linked her. I let me look at my bookshelf 1 second. I sent her Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, and then
I have that book. Like, I think it's right there.
yeah, yeah, I'm in the corner as well of my room, and
yeah,
I
it's
linked
somewhere over there.
I linked her a few things. I said, look, you're 17. Like you first of all, I doubt you have much capital.
Yeah.
Second of all, you have a bunch of free time. Like at 17, you're doing like fuck all, honestly. So like, read this book. I sent her another book. It's this by this English author. It's called Money, and it basically explains how money works and how it goes around the world, essentially, and how to provide value for money, and then how, by providing value, you're gonna get something out of it. So I just basically did all of that for her. And then another kid came that I used to actually have a group of friends that I played Minecraft with like 3 years ago. And one of the young kids that I met there just messaged me out of the blue in Discord and said, "Hey, how you doing? I know you mentioned you do NFTs and stuff, because we still have Discord. I just talk to them. I don't play anymore, but I just talk to them once in a while. Can you help me like invest? I've got like $200." I was like, "Dude, sit down and read this book.
Invest in
Watch this."
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it's just all about investing in yourself.
I
Especially if, like,
100% agree.
yeah, if you're not rushing, dude, like, don't look at all these motherfuckers making like a bunch of money. Like, make yourself valuable, because the only thing you got is your value, right?
It's skills.
And your health.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, if you're not healthy and if you're not there, like, you're not gonna do well. Like, if you're physically not like at your top, at your peak, you're never gonna succeed if you don't prepare yourself. Like, as if I promise you, it doesn't matter how like unfortunate like your education is and stuff like that. If you're in the right place and if you're like in the right mindset and you bring just sliver of value, so you're in the room, you're gonna catch a fucking break once, like, eventually. Because I've been in rooms. I'm not even flexing or anything, but I've been in rooms with people that have insane fuck you money, that people that have old money, people that have crypto money, like, and they listen to me like I'm fucking preaching the gospel.
I know.
Why? Because I'm in something that intrigues them somewhat. Like, they might not give a fuck about Web3. They might just like have one NFT and they're never gonna touch it again. But for that one specific night, I've been there and I've provided them with value, and that's all that matters. If you have value and you're irreplaceable, like, everyone's replaceable, right? But
100%.
there's a degree to that.
Yep.
There's a degree. Like, if I like die, God forbid, tomorrow, like, Llamaverse is gonna have some issues, right?
Yep.
Like, LlamaLabs gonna have some issues. They're gonna have to, obviously, you know what I mean.
I'll take over.
But
Don't worry about it. I got it.
Yeah, it's all good. They got your contact. It's similar Will, actually. It says at the bottom, just, yeah. But no, so yeah, if you're young and like you've got nowhere to go, like, go flip the burgers, like, go do this and that. But in your spare time, just fucking soak up shit. Like, the last thing I told the kids, I call them the kids, but I'm literally like 4 years older than them. But the last thing I told them was like, I do this all the time. Go listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, all of those things sped up.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. I listen to all my audiobooks on 2.5 speed. 2 or 2.5. Depends on how slow the person is reading. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
2 to 2.5. Yeah. And you retain the information a little bit better if you also follow along in the book. If you have the actual book and the audio book, I do that as well. But like, dude, I wrote a thread on this exact topic like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was like, and I was like, what was it? Okay, it was why I spent $6,500 on a mentorship and mastermind program versus buying a Rolex. And it just broke down my thought process behind it. And it was like, well,
I think that's
I identified a few different sectors in my life that I was lacking and that I wanted to improve. And you know what? A Rolex ain't gonna fucking do that. A mentor who's in the place in life that I want to be at and who's going to coach me to get there is going to be able to get me to that place, right? Because they've been there, they've done that. And so, I dropped $6,500 on that, and you know what? That investment has already paid itself back.
Yeah. So it's it's crazy how people don't realize that what you did there, and people just kind of explain to the listeners that might not understand. What you did there is you bought someone's lifetime of experience
Yes.
condensed into the best aspect. So me and you have done Web3 for a while, right?
Yeah.
And we've done a bunch of random shit that like is not really valuable to anyone, like dealing with some small problems, this and that. But when it comes to it, when we can sit down, and it's not like. By the way, for people like, there was no script to this podcast. I just said just go for it, like we just chat. But if we had like a time to prepare a script, we would be dropping gems after gems after gems of behind the scenes, and like we kind of doing now. But like that's what I mean. Like you'll be able to concentrate like my let's say a year and a bit of experience in like 2 to 3 hours
Yep.
of value that you can then expand on in your own time on specific points, and you can't really get that anywhere else.
Nope.
And that's why these kind of events are important to go to, and these talks and these podcasts, and that's why
Yes.
podcasting is so good,
100%.
because podcasting is like, dude, people getting Elon Musk on podcasts,
Dude,
like
I know. It's
billionaires.
it's
Like,
it's the best form of content creation that you can create nowadays because it's such long form and you can just take small tidbits of short form and put them out. You can translate it or transcribe it into, blog posts and smaller
yeah,
tweets
it's crazy.
and yeah,
People need to, yeah.
it's
So people, I
super
think people just
powerful.
need to work on themselves. Is
Yep.
the kind of the reply to that question. And
And
don't rush it. Like, look, no
yeah.
one's like, industry ain't going nowhere. It's a bear market. No one's making that much money.
No.
Just like you can, I'm not gonna shout out like there's websites that you can pirate books. Like,
Oh yeah.
this is the fucking internet. Like,
Yep.
if you want knowledge, you're gonna fucking find knowledge.
It's
And
all out there for free, man.
you've
Like,
got Google
yep.
and you've got YouTube.
Yep.
What are the two biggest search engines in the world? Google and YouTube. That's what you need to know, dude. Anything that anyone wants to sell you as a course it's a condensed version of something you can find on YouTube. Like
Oh,
anything.
and now you have fucking Chat GPT that can just. Oh my god, have you been playing with that?
Dude, I've been playing. Yeah. I've been
Oh
fucking around.
my
It's fucking
fucking gosh, that is it's scary fucking good. I literally tweeted Chat GPT is scary good. It's fucking nuts, bro.
yeah, dude. Who was I showing? I was I was showing this girl. I was like, "Have you seen like this new AI stuff?" And she was like, "I don't want to see it." And I was like, "Dude, just look at this."
But
And
you
I
don't
typed like,
understand.
"It's crazy. It's actually crazy."
I can just see that meme of the guy at the baseball stadium, like explaining that. You know what I'm talking about? That picture
Yeah.
of you explaining
That's the
Chat
thing.
GPT to that girl.
And that's a new thing, right? Like if you now spend at 2 times speed consuming all the content about ChatGPT and how these other AIs work and how you can use them to the best of your ability, by the time in 6 months' time that this becomes like a mainstream thing,
Oh, I'm already
it's
using it
like,
on a daily basis, dude.
yeah. So yeah, people are doing it, but
Absolutely.
the mass isn't using it, and by the time the mass is using it, you've already fucking
You're behind.
completed the fucking thing, and you're doing
Yeah.
side quests. You move on to the next one.
Yep.
That's the thing.
You're either behind or way ahead because you hopped on the trend and we're using it and dude, I'm using it now a ton because it's free now. Dude, they could easily charge I don't even loads of money for this. Absolutely absurd amounts of money to access this. Like, it's so powerful. It's insane.
Yep.
Hey, you did mention another thing was that this was a pretty unscripted podcast, and that if we did a scripted one, it would be insanely valuable. I do want to invite you back for a scripted episode where we can
Oh yeah.
like
Sure,
outline a
sure.
couple really key points and then just dive in and talk
Yep.
about them.
Yep.
Maybe more on like the back end operations of a business. Like I that's my world. Like I love the back end operations of a business, building the systems, building the operations, um, you know, looking at the inefficiencies in a system and analyzing the data and stuff like that. I think that would be really beneficial to the listeners to be able to get your perspective as well as my perspective on a few different things within the back end systems of a business. Not, hey, don't release, sensitive data and whatnot, but just to talk about things in a a larger overview of like the back end of running an NFT project and the back end of running a couple different SaaS offerings. I think it could be really valuable.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we can 100% do it.
Cool.
And it's there's a lot of backend. I mostly do backend. Like if you check my Twitter, I just retweet stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do tweets. I don't do like any forward facing.
That's
I'm in our community a lot. Yeah, I'm in our community a lot, answering questions, like challenging people. Dude, I've said this before and I've said it again. Like, you can be like, if you challenge me and you're a community member and I disagree with you, I will have a 6-hour debate with you across doing other tasks. I've literally had 6-7 hour debates explaining to one person why, yes, this sucks for your specific case, but for the 3,999 other people, it doesn't suck.
Yep.
That's why you need to do it.
I've been there. 100% agree.
So yeah, and it's good because our community now knows that they can literally challenge me on anything. And if they're right, and after a bunch of discussion, we're like, oh shit, they're right, then we just fix it, right? And this has happened like, literally, this happened like 3 weeks ago when the community pointed out a potential flaw for them on their side of things. And we're like, damn, this fucking kind of makes sense. So
like, shit, all right, we'll fix it.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, because we're so flexible, it doesn't like hurt us in the long term.
Right.
And like in 3 weeks' time, everyone's back to everyone's still happy.
Yep.
And no damage has been done.
Yep.
And no time has been wasted.
Absolutely.
Rather than like us releasing it without consulting the community and then backtracking and then damaging, the trust.
100%. Well, hey, bro, I like keeping these right around the 45-minute to an hour mark.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
So
yeah.
if you if you want to
like 3 hours.
Yeah, I know, right? If you want to wrap it up, I don't want to take too much more of your time. If you have anything specific that you'd like to drop, maybe how to get in touch with Llamaverse, how to get involved, like the best way to join the Llama ecosystem, let me know. Everything that we talked about will be, edited and put on the screens, as well as linked in the podcast show notes, as well as the YouTube. So go ahead and we'll just wrap it up.
I mean, I haven't got much to show. You can go to Twitter and then find Llamaverse, and then we have pretty much a library of content. You can find our content for free on YouTube that can educate you on how to trade, all of that good stuff. But yeah, I would just honestly say follow Llama, follow Llamaverse, follow LlamaLabs, and then go to the community. Honestly, just join the server. The general chat, you can ask anything. You can go to a website and ask all of our live support, anything. You can even ask me anything. My Discord has always been open, and anyone can DM me. I'm gonna put it up on. I'll send it to you so you can put it up on the screen if you want. But yeah, it's literally just Hellequin and then the hashtag 9999. And if you join the server, you'll see me at the top. So yeah, if anything, if you wanna ask me anything, like shout at me about anything, you can do so there. I've got nothing else to say.
Go in his Discord and challenge him.
Yeah, go and do like. I mean, I when I say challenging me, like to a healthy debate, I don't like not no like.
Yeah, don't go in there and give him shit.
Run the book. Oh, you can give me shit as long as it makes sense to give me shit. If it's just you giving me shit because you're bored, then I'll be like, okay, fuck off, So I didn't ask if you can swear on a podcast, but I just do it automatically. So.
Oh, you're good, dude. I have no filter in terms of swearing. I'm very, very much like Gary Vee when it comes to swearing. I could give a fuck less if it makes somebody's day worse or offend somebody. Like, I mean, we're all grown adults here.
That's on you, to be honest.
Sorry. If you don't like it, don't listen to the podcast. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, but that's me.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you
for your time.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast. Yes, absolutely. I will link up with you sometime after the new year to get a quick update on the rest of the 60 days on what's going on with LlamaLabs, and we'll hop on for another scripted episode. With that being said, everybody who is still listening, thank you very much. Go follow LlamaLabs, Llamaverse, Helle, NFT Llama. I will put all their links below. Heck, go fucking buy a Llamaverse Llama and join their fucking ecosystem. These guys are killing it in the Web3 space. Go ahead.
If they didn't watch it at 2x speed, I'm disappointed.
Right?
Or maybe 1.5.
1.5.
I speak very fast,
Yeah,
so 1.5
right.
I can see that.
Yep. And thank you guys. So with that, we're going to wrap up the episode. If you guys enjoyed this episode, if you learned anything, please go ahead and drop us a review. Share this with a friend who is in the NFT space or who's not in the NFT space who wants to get in. This is our way and my way of onboarding more people into the Web3 space in an educated and safe manner. So with that being said, thank you everybody for joining. Helle, especially, thank you for joining us today. And I will look forward to talking with you a little bit more. All right. See you, everybody.